So I'm going to give a few minutes to discuss problem set 4 and any questions you might have on it. If you had a look, I'll just briefly describe what the problems are. So again, it has the same format, and it would be the same format that you'll see for your final exam as well. You'll have MCQs and we'll have short questions. Unfortunately, we can't give software things in the test in your final exam. But we are planning to keep it on June 7th, which is the last Friday before the quarter ends, and at hopefully the same time as the class, so around let's say starting from 4 to 6. So you guys can take off for the summer, go to Vegas, take these pictures, and get extra credit before we did. But if you have a problem, you can take it later. But usually we prefer if you can take it on June 7th. So for this problem set, you have 4 short questions. One is on did people take a look yet? Not yet. So I can discuss just one of those questions, and then it uses a software as well, and the software this time is to simulate shading on solar cell on our module. Yeah, so there's a tutorial which makes it easier for you to reduce your learn time on the software. Okay, so this is one of the questions. So the question is, we've talked about this blocking layer, or this selective contact, this heterostructure to engineer this selective contact, right? So the question is whether they make sense if your mobility in your material is very low. I mean, usually the idea is you reflect these things back, right? And then they get collected on this contact, right? For example, this is a blocking contact, this is selective contact for holes, so it collects all the hole here, and it reflects back the electron. But would it be effective if the mobility in this material is very low? This is a thin film material, and so the statement that has been made is that it has been said that placing these blocking layer for these thin film solar cells does not improve the efficiency whether you have the blocking layer or you don't have the blocking layer. So is this correct? What are you guys thinking? You tend to agree? Why? Okay, that's one argument, that if they have low mobility, they'll recombine here instead of recombining at the edge, right? Usually if you don't have blocking layer, they'll recombine here, right? They'll essentially recombine with the electron here. But if you do have blocking layer, they'll still recombine but away from the contact. So think about it. I mean, it might be the same thing whether you recombine near the contact or away from the contact. Another such question, which is again require you to think, is that we talked about these organic solar cells. So now I'm thinking of these heterojunction, bulk heterojunction cells, and I need to prove that the current is inversely proportional to this segment size, or the width of my segment. Again, very simple calculation. Think about how the interface area is changing with this changing segment size. And then my favorite question is usually this one, right? Where you watch these videos and figure out whether something is make sense or people are just talking crap, right? So this time also I've picked up 3 of these things. One is on SIGS based cell, one is on organic cell, the other one is on these dye synthesized cells made out of raspberry and strawberries. Maybe if you don't have any other questions, we can watch one of those videos and discuss. You want to do that? Which one do you want to watch? Raspberry. Actually, I don't have the raspberry one. Let me see if I can take. No. Can we watch this one, the solar?
Electric car needs a lot of electricity, and it's all got to come from the battery. Can't the car produce its own electricity for a change? How about putting solar panels on the roof?
That's not such a bad idea, but there's a more elegant solution. BASF has developed pigments that transform sunlight into electricity. If we were to cover the entire...
Whoa, the entire roof? But these days, every other person wants a car with a sunroof.
Yes, that gives you more natural light. But even a glass roof can work like a solar panel. At least with the Smart for Vision, it can. The hexagonal pattern on the glass is actually the world's first transparent solar panel.
Whoa.
In the BASF labs, a wafer-thin color film is printed on the glass, which converts sunlight into electricity.
BASF
The
is a chemical
hexagonal
company.
cells are already built into the roof of the Smart for Vision, resulting in an energy-efficient design feature. Even in low-light conditions, it generates enough energy to power both the multimedia and ventilation systems.
One of the very strengths of BASF is that we are producing dyes for about 145 years. And what we did in this project is we added an additional value to a dye, which is not only absorbing light, we are producing energy with the light we are absorbing. We are satisfying the need or the wish of people to have nice devices in terms of color, of lifestyle. We are producing something fancy. It combines our high-tech feature, which is dye, and the ingredients around the dye, and on the other hand, the very simple and easy way to produce these solar cells. And therefore we are thinking this is an incredible smart product.
That sounds very interesting, but it's probably very expensive. What works in the lab also has to be affordable to the buyer.
We're on the same page there. What's really special about this technology is that it relies on pigments. That means that we can create large quantities of these coatings using our current technology. That'll keep the cost down.
Does that mean that everyone can choose a glass roof with a color that matches the interior? What about flashy colors like yellow or hot pink?
In principle, every color is possible, whether it's red, blue, yellow, green, or pink. That means the solar roofs won't just be eco-friendly power generators, they'll be attractive design features too.
BASF. V.
Yeah, those are organic solar cells, right? So organic solar cells are partly transparent. Right? You can. It is, sure. Yeah. Yeah. So they won't use it to run the car. So do you know cars which already use it? Have you seen those? Or Fisker Karma uses it, right? Toyota Prius also uses it. But not for charging the battery. The application they use it for is use these panels and they use it when you park it, right? Your car becomes hot, right? So what it does is that panel, when it's hot, it powers the fan, which exhausts the heat out from your car. So that seems like a sensible application, right? Especially when it's hot, there is sunlight, you are using it to power a fan. But power the battery for sure is not. How about that claim when you think we can make it with multiple colors? Can you make organic cells in multiple colors and they are all same color? Huh? Okay, so that's one way to think about it. The color comes because you have, remember we talked about this, they have this kind of architecture, right? So they absorb whatever is below the band gap, right? Whatever is above the band gap. So you get efficiencies of, you get all the wavelength which is not absorbed is what you see, right? So usually they appear red in color because they have high band gaps, these things, right? So last time we were discussing that they have band gap of 1.9, so they appear red in color. Now how would you make them blue or pink or... No, dye sensitizing is a different kind of a cell, which dye sensitizing is yes, it's a way to make the organic solar cell, but it's not a way to engineer the color or engineer the binding. How do you make it green or yellow or blue? So you put a color below it, right? I mean, basically it's red and then you put another filter which is blue. That wouldn't look as good. Just like displays, you have these e-ink displays, right? Which you get in your Kindle. But if you try to make them color, you essentially put filters on the top, but they never give you that much contrast. So there's a way you can probably do it, but you won't be able to do it by engineering the band gap of the cell. You have to put extra filters below it, color filters below it. Right. There's nothing wrong with it, yeah, sure. I mean, usually you want these things to be flexible if you're putting it on a car. And durable, I mean durable in terms of not breaking, right? So that way something which is on plastic makes a lot of sense. Okay, so take a look at the concept. The project is due on Friday. We will, hopefully it's a sunny day. Well, I was checking the weather, it looks like a little cloudy, so, but it's supposed to clear up by the afternoon. Nonetheless, I mean, you can design it such that it works better with diffuse light. But so 4 p.m. it won't be normally.
Right.
Yeah. So you can, sure, you can tilt it, right? Depending upon whether you chose tracking or not. But anyway, you can tilt it, that's okay. Just for... Yes, you have to decide, right, whether you chose to use tracking or not. Yeah. No. It's just a decision you have to make depending upon how efficient you think your panel is. if you have a reflector at the back, aluminum reflectors you're talking about, right? It will help in reducing the temperature. So the problem with that is it might short your cell from the back, right? Because these cells all have bottom contacts. So how do you like separate, make a electrically open while making a thermal short, right? So that's a challenge there. But if you can figure out a way, yeah, sure. All right, so it seems like we're losing the room, so I'll end the class here.